A new dawn for Alexandria. A Dungeons & Dragons adventure. Session 1. Thief.
Good morning, and peace to you, O great Emperor of Zadash. I am deeply honored and humbled by your invitation to take part in this wonderful celebration. It has been 10 years since you defeated the evil queen and her minions, saving Zadash from her tyranny. This land is blessed to have you as Emperor and ruler. To those of you esteemed members of His Highness's royal court who do not know me, my name is Rahim, weaver of tales, spinner of mysteries, keeper of history. I was invited to Zadash for this celebration to share a special piece of history with you during your festivals. This is a story that I have withheld for many years, waiting until just the right moment to recount. I believe this is that moment. Many of you know about Miadrus across the Great Void with its opulent cities, extensive trade, and powerful mages. I know your Highness has had rather intimate dealings with Miadrus' crown guard himself. But the story that I bring you this festival is not about Miadrus as it is now, but as it once was. A land at the crossroads. Not that much different than your land here today. So make yourselves comfortable and listen up, for I am about to share the epic tale known as A New Dawn for Alexandria. It is a tale that begins in the bustling market square of fair Alexandria, a mere 150 years ago. 5 souls, strangers to one another, found themselves thrust together in the unforgiving crucible of fate. There was Arcane Divorus, an elven ranger of unmatched skill with the bow and arrow, his senses as keen as the hawk's. Eluvitar the Unknown, an Azamar warlock, his celestial lineage evident in the otherworldly aura that surrounded him. Momok, Chatterbox, Kolokolaki, a Goliath monk whose fists were as swift as the mountain winds, and whose spirit was as unyielding as the peaks themselves. Rune Endixius, a tiefling warlock, his infernal heritage masked by a cunning intellect and mastery of forbidden magic. And lastly, Titus, Ironheart Schmiegelson, a dwarven barbarian, his heart as stout as the mountains of his homeland, and his axe arm as mighty as the thunder itself. These 5 unlikely heroes, having spent a night in the city's jail for offenses fueled by excessive merriment and perhaps a touch too much ale, found themselves unceremoniously deposited into the bustling market square by the city guard. Little did they know that their paths, once entwined by this shared misfortune, were about to be irrevocably bound by a twist of fate. For as they stood blinking in the morning sunlight, a palanquin borne aloft by sturdy bearers entered the square. Within its silken confines rode a man of high standing, a scion of the noble house of Hunthues, his lineage tracing back to the very heart of Miadrus. But alas, even amidst the throngs in the marketplace, misfortune found even him. A thief, quick and cunning, darted from the crowd, snatching a satchel of great value from the nobleman's grasp before disappearing back into the swirling mass of people. With a roar that echoed through the square, Momok, the Goliath monk sprang into action, his pursuit of the thief as relentless as the avalanche. Arcane, the elven ranger, his keen eyes tracking the thief's every move, followed close behind, an arrow nocked and ready in his bow. Titus, the dwarven barbarian, initially joined the chase, his mighty axe gleaming in the sunlight. But alas, his dwarven stamina proved ill-suited to such a pursuit, and he reluctantly abandoned the chase. Meanwhile, Rune, the tiefling warlock, and Iluvatar the Azamar remained with the distraught nobleman, offering assurances that his valuable satchel would be swiftly recovered. Rune, with a confidence that belied the uncertainty of the situation, vowed that his companions would return victorious. Mamak, his Goliath strength and agility allowing him to navigate the crowded marketplace with ease, pressed the thief relentlessly. The thief, a master of misdirection and subterfuge, attempted to lose his pursuer in the labyrinthine alleyways, but Mamak, his senses honed by years of monastic training, proved more than a match for the cunning rogue. Finally, the chase led them to a hidden lair, a squalid back-alley room that served as the thief's hideout and a repository for his ill-gotten gains. Without hesitation, Mamak charged into the den, only to find himself facing not one, but 3 adversaries. The thief, perched upon a stack of stolen goods, loosed a volley of bolts from his crossbow while his accomplices advanced upon the lone Goliath. Despite being outnumbered, Mamak fought with the ferocity of a cornered bear, his fists a blur of motion as he sent one of the thieves crashing to the ground. But alas, even his formidable strength was no match for the combined might of the remaining 2. Battered and bruised, Mamak finally succumbed to their blows, falling unconscious amidst the scattered loot. But hope was not lost, dear friends, for Arcane, the elven ranger, arrived just as Mamak fell, his arrows finding their marks with deadly accuracy. 2 of the thieves fell to his swift and precise shots, while his healing magic brought the fallen Goliath back from the brink. Back in the market square, concern gnawed at Rune and Iluvatar. Fearing for the safety of their newfound companions, they decided to join the pursuit. Titus, his dwarven pride stung by his earlier failure to keep pace, readily agreed, eager to prove his worth. Rune, ever resourceful, summoned his faithful familiar, a mischievous pseudo-dragon he affectionately called Sparky, and sent the tiny dragon soaring into the sky to scout for their missing friends. Meanwhile, at the thieves' lair, Mamak, his strength renewed, had regained his feet and dispatched the remaining thief with a thunderous blow. But just as victory seemed within their grasp, tragedy struck again. The cunning thief, seeing his accomplices fall, had seized the opportunity to attack the unsuspecting Arcane, piercing him with a well-aimed crossbow bolt. As the elven ranger slumped to the ground, Iluvatar, guided by Sparky's keen eyes, arrived on the scene. Without hesitation, he rushed into the fray, his healing magic flowing into Arcane, snatching him from the jaws of death. The thief, now realizing the futility of his situation, attempted to make his escape, clutching the stolen satchel tightly in his grasp. But as he emerged from his lair, he collided with the oncoming Titus, who, despite his delayed arrival, was eager to contribute to the melee. Though Titus's mighty axe blow missed its mark, it served its purpose. Halting the thief's escape long enough for Arcane, his strength miraculously restored by Iluvatar's magic, to deliver the final, fatal blow. With the thief vanquished and the satchel recovered, Titus, Rune, and Iluvatar returned to the market square, presenting the grateful nobleman with his stolen property. Overwhelmed with gratitude, the nobleman pledged a reward far greater than mere coin, promising an introduction to powerful persons within the city. And what of Mamak and Arcane, you ask? Ah, they remained in the thieves' lair, their curiosity piqued by the remaining treasures. They discovered a cache of gold, a potion of unknown properties, and, most intriguing of all, a suit of armor, its origins shrouded in mystery, its powers yet to be revealed. And so, my liege, friends of the court, thus ends the beginning of my tale. May their deeds even in this first installment inspire us to acts of courage and selflessness, and may this story that I will tell be told and retold for generations to come.